knowledge. I've gained a lot of knowledge. I've gained a lot of knowledge, but I don't know how much I can share from my little, whatever I know, 1 cent or 2 cent words. So I was thinking, I don't want to I don't want to have this, this bookish knowledge like we were discussing in the other programs, the alternate Tuesdays. So I was thinking, what are we going to talk? And because what I will know is from my daily experience with Baba, since I know Baba into my life till today, which I'm breathing. So I was thinking of that, and we finished. And after the ending, the before we closed for the day, when everybody had to comment, so I was so shocked that actually Brother Suresh answered my question at 8:24, whichever passed in my mind. Exact answer. He's actually spoken my mind. When he concluded, he said, how should you all present next week? How you all should discuss? And what kind of, give your experience. So I was just dumbstruck, and I was whole night I was like thinking, oh my God, look at that, this connection. When I asked Swami at 8:24, and Brother Suresh answered at, I don't know, nearly 10. So I just wanted to share it today before I present whatever, I understand from paragraph 2. See, the whole thing, the first letter is given to us is actually to ask us to actually ponder how are we going to extreme feel the ecstasy. Ecstasy is the ultimate point. It's like the ultimate point, Mount Everest. How are we going to feel and enjoy every second of God's name? And how are we going to uh, capture that in our daily life, where we should have the real fulfillment of life? How are we going to connect these two? So what I feel, and I sense that everyone, it's like Sairam, or they use all kind of and the Swami, they call out, they reach, but it should not just be a mouthpiece. It should not just for the sake of doing it, you do it. How are we going to really feel the ecstasy whenever we call out for Swami, or we sing the bhajans or what? So it is known to everyone that in the present world, there's no fear of sin nor wish for merit, because I feel that everybody is committing an action, but they're not actually realizing whether it's going to connect to a sin or a wish for the merit, because whatever they do, the actions or they say, they have to actually see whether what is the end result, what will be costing from their own conduct. So the sacred values, the five, what Baba has taught us, truth, righteousness, compassion, love, and non-violence, uh, is fostered, being fostered only in words, but not in action. Correct? It's only being, we are only saying non-violence, love all, serve all, help ever, you know, hurt never. But are we actually doing it through our actions? Or is this going to be, they're just speaking it for the sake of, or this is the teachings of Baba? So that's the reason Baba has actually, he has connected the first paragraph, the first two lines, where he says the peace and tolerance are like the two distant islands that are lost. Yeah, it's actually true, because when from all this, it's like 1 plus 1 is 2. It's connected from our action, how it will relate to peace and tolerance, how our actions can actually disturb one's peace, and how it's going to be the tolerance, the one can take on the tolerance, the degree of tolerance. So everything is connected. So I feel it's all connected. And when he says that every human being is craving for peace and comfort, but they're not. Yes, we are only saying we are doing, but we are only doing it for our own comfort. We are not taking into account, and we're not taking exact steps to attain. So to attain that is to attain the ecstasy. What are we doing? So he wants us to actually take into account every step we do, every word we utter, every action. He wants us to be careful. where it should not conclude in others' injury. So peace, I think that's what he means, end of the day. Our whole conduct, our action, how much we are going to lead in using Swami's teachings and whatever to reach the ecstasy where we can find the real fulfillment of life. So that's what I gather from there. Achievement is possible only when we have it in our mind. So through our actions, through our conduct, how are we going to achieve? It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a very tough path, but we have to see to the right path. That's why he concludes that saying that the nectar of singing of glory will be the path of flowers. It's not just the singing, it's everything. Everything will end up to the result. It's like how 1 + 1, the whole action we are going to see. So how are we going to conduct ourselves, see, from day one until we can reach to the path, to the right path where Baba wants us to be. So that's how I conclude a very short summary of this paragraph. I'm sorry if I may be wrong. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you, Sister Lata. Okay, understood the paragraph, and you're able to digest it well, and you explain it well in the very layman term, so everyone can understood well. Thank you, Ma. So, Brother Billy.
Okay, now for me, I like to explore this one sentence, okay? Embodiments of the divine Atma. And also the third paragraph, let me just go to that paragraph, where Swami said, it is a sin to sell the most valuable human life for the sake of the coal of mundane desires. Okay, so what does Swami want to remind us of? Okay, so this is where coming back to what I've dissected. Okay, Swami started by saying that human life is most valuable. Okay, human life is most valuable. And I happen to come across this particular very profound thing of Swami, okay? The goal and the purpose of life. Life is just like the post, the letter in the post in transit from the sender to the addressee. You must know from where you have come and whither you are going. When you write a letter, you put on the envelope the from address and the to address, and only then drop it in the mailbox. But if the envelope does not have these addresses, there is every likelihood of the letter finding its way to the waste paper basket in the post office. Your life is like a postal envelope, and you must know the name of the sender as well as that of the addressee. Otherwise, it will be lost in the dustbin of worldliness. Thus, you must know where you have come from, what you are, and where you are going. In other words, you should comprehend your divine antecedent, your divine nature, and your divine destiny. You must strive to go back to this spiritual heaven from where you have come. You have come from the Atma. You are essentially the Atma, and you must realize your identity with the Atma. Dedicate your faculties for the realization of the sublime truth of your divinity. So this letter that Swami wrote to the student is to, I believe, to remind them, hey, hello, you are embodiments of the divine Atma. Don't waste this life. This life is so precious. Okay, there's a poetic line, from what I call the Chinese Buddhism. Okay, the body is so difficult to obtain, yet you have got it. The Buddha's teaching is so difficult to come across, yet you have received the teachings. If you don't do your sadhana now, when are you going to do it? So here is, we have all of us have received, we have got this precious body. We do not know when this body is just like a ice cube. We do not know when it will be totally melted. And we have received the most precious teachings of the Lord of the universe. So if we don't strive to put into practice His teaching, when are we going to do it? Right? So this is where Swami, in this particular short video, talk about the importance of unity of thought, words, and deeds, okay? Apparently, this is the key, to go into the kingdom of God. Okay, let's listen to what Swami say about it, okay?
It is with reference to our heart, our head, and our hand. We should prove ourselves as a model, as an ideal,
కనుకొని
and
ఈనాడు
an example.
ఆధ్యాత్మికమంతా కూడా కేవలం ఆడంబరంగా రూపొందుతూ ఉంటున్నది.
Today, all our spirituality is becoming only a big show.
కావలసిన ఉపన్యాసాలు చెప్తున్నాము.
We are delivering very big speeches.
కావలసిన సేవలు చేస్తున్నాము.
We are also undertaking
భజనలు సలుపుతున్నాము.
We are also doing bhajan.
ఇంకా అనేక విధమైన సాధనలు చేస్తున్నాము.
And many more things.
ఎన్ని
are
చేసి
undertaken.
ప్రయోజనం ఏంటి? మూడింటి యొక్క ఏకత్వం కాక.
Without bringing about unity between thought, word, and deed, what is the use of doing any number of things in
ఈ
any way?
సత్వరజో తమో గుణముల యొక్క ఏకత్వాన్ని మనం అనుభవించాలి.
We should experience the unity of sattva, raja, and tamo
అప్పుడే
gunas.
మనకు ఆనందము.
Then only we are full of
అప్పుడే
bliss.
ఆత్మ సందర్శనం.
Then only we can get the vision of Atma.
ఆత్మకు ప్రత్యేకంగా ఒక చోటుకు మనం పోనక్కర్లేదు.
Atma cannot be found in a different
ఈ
place.
ఆత్మ ఒక చోటు నుండి ఒక చోటు కదిలేటువంటిది కాదు.
Atma is not one which moves from one place to another place.
దైవం ఎక్కడి నుంచినో ఎక్కడికో వచ్చి దర్శనమిస్తాడని భావించరాదు.
We should not consider God comes from one place to another place. to do
సర్వత్రా
darshan.
ఉండినటువంటి వాడికి ప్రయాణం చేయవలసిన అవసరం ఏముంటుండాలి?
When God is all pervasive, where is the need for him to travel from one place?
రాకపోకలు లేనటువంటి యొక్క శక్తి దైవత్వం.
Divine power is one which does not have comings and goings.
కనుకనే మనం ఆచరించినప్పుడు ఈ ఆనందానికి మనం అర్హులమవుతాం.
When we practice things properly, we become entitled for experiencing the bliss.
ఐకమత్యం కావాలి.
There is need for unity.
ఏకత్వంలో మన ఆనందం ఇమిడి ఉంటుండాలి.
The entire bliss lies in unity.
Okay, so what is this unity that Swami is talking about? Perhaps let us also listen to a short talk by one of his students, okay, on what is unity of thoughts, words, and deeds, which is called Trikarana Suddhi, okay.
God does not exist in some parts of our temples. Just as fire exists in every aspect of the wood. It manifests only when two wood pieces are brushed against each other very rigorously, and that's how a yajna is started. Yajna is not started now as it is done. You take a matchstick and light. It is actually started with two wood pieces rigorously rubbed against each other, and the fire inherent in the wood comes out, and that marks the beginning of the yajna. Similarly, God is present in every aspect of this creation. Only the one who makes unbroken efforts of rubbing himself against the efforts towards realizing God will you be able to see him manifest before you. That is a very, very fundamental principle. But for this, practice is very important. However, our practices are one-sided. Practice in action, not in mind. Practice in mind, not in action. Practice in word, but not in thought and deed. We don't need to have single action. We need to have a triple action. Triple action and triple purity. Once in Trai Vrindavan, the exams were just over. And Swami said, your exams are over? Yes, Swami. Results are going to come? Yes, Swami. Then he asked, What subjects are you studying in science? Then the student said physics, chemistry and biosciences. This is how he said, okay. If you get 90 out of 100 in physics, 70 out of 100 in chemistry and 20 out of 100 in biosciences, will you pass or fail? Fail. Why? One subject you have not passed. You need to pass in all subjects in order to clear examination, right? Then Swami said, okay, similarly, you get 90 out of 100 in actions. You are great in whatever you are doing. Very good public speaker, great in service, great in singing, great in dancing. 90 out of 100. You are 60 out of 100 in words. You speak very well, you sing very well, you communicate very well, you speak politely to people. In thoughts, 20 out of 100. Do you pass in God's examination? No. Just like you need to pass in the physics, chemistry and biosciences to get your BS degree, you need to pass with high marks in thought, word and deed to get the degree of spirituality. This is Trikarna Shuddhi, TKS. The essence of success in spirituality is need for unity and purity of thought, word and deed. That is the highest abhyasa which we need to do. Otherwise, we will be doing all forms of sadhana, but we will not be progressing ahead because we are doing it in bits and pieces. We are not integrating our efforts with thought, word and deed. There's a very famous story of these deer in the forest. They all got together. And these are all stories you can share with the SSC children. They all got together in the forest. They had a deer conference and some 200 deers got together. And they said, we have such strong antelopes. Why should we get scared of the dogs? If we hit them with our antelopes, they will get disemboweled. We are so swift with our movement, we can jump over obstacles and small bushes and all of that. If we kick them, they will fall down. That is the power which the deer have. Why should we get afraid of these wild dogs when they come close to us? So all of them agreed, yes, you are right, President. You are right. We will all follow you because you have told the truth. Why should we be afraid of the dogs? So a resolution was passed in the deer conference that we, the deer community of this forest, decide that henceforth will not get afraid of the dogs. The resolution was passed and it was a few moments and somewhere in the distance one wild dog barked and the entire deer conference was dispersed. All of them vanished from this place to all the directions in the forest. Is this Trikarna Shuddhi? We are making all these claims that all these negativities will not affect us. We will not be perturbed an inch whenever any attraction or negative influence comes before us. But the moment there is any such kind of indication, every resolution is put inside the storeroom and we are back to our original ways. Trikarna Shuddhi requires consistent awareness. This is what is constant integrated awareness. CIA is actually nothing but TKS. CIA equal to TKS, not Central Intelligence Agency. Constant integrated awareness is equal to Trikarna Shuddhi.
Okay. So this is where achievement is only possible when thoughts of the mind, words of the mouth, and deeds of the hands are unified. Okay, if you look at this particular carriage here, okay, so there are three horses. So these three horses represent the thoughts, our words, and our deeds. Okay, imagine if these thoughts runs in different direction. Okay, the carriage probably will be broken, into 2 or 3 or 4 pieces. Okay. And they need, in order for the carriage to move, all the horse must run in one direction. And this is where, there's this harness, okay? The horse can't actually move, they got to follow the harness. And also, nowadays they put this, what they call blinkers, on the eyes, okay? So that they only see what is in front of them, okay? So in order for us to achieve things in life, thoughts, words, and deeds must be unified. Or you may want to look at it this way, okay? This is a piggy bank, okay? It has got what they call a combination lock. We may have a safe at home, okay? So normally, combination lock, there are only 3 codes, okay? So in order to open up this piggy bank, to open up the safe, to enter into the kingdom of heaven, there's a secret code. The code is thoughts, words, and deeds. And this must be together, You cannot put the number, upside down, okay? So this is where Swami say, in order to realize who you are, thoughts, words, and deeds must be in alignment. Okay? So, but why is it that our thoughts, words, and deeds are not in alignment, are not unified? Okay? Have we faced such situation in life? What can we do better next time, such situation arise? Okay. Okay, perhaps I should stop here for feedback from the audience. Okay.
Sai Ram,
Yep.
I think we are the reason. We can't blame anybody else. We are always looking at other people, what they are doing, whether they are doing correctly, like that. We have to go inward, Swami says. Our mind must die. You are always thinking. That should stop and everything should come from the heart. Unless we come from the heart, the conscious is very difficult. When we say love all, serve all, when we start love all, serve, people look at us suspicious. They think they are doing something or something like that. So narrow-minded. So with people like that, it's very difficult. And when we are practicing spirituality, we have to be ourselves. We can't go with the family or center or the whole world. We alone have to do. Like Buddha, like Adi Shankar, Jesus, like that. You can't hold hands with everybody and go. We have to change. Our heart has to become pure. Then everything becomes pure. When we have something, he's still holding. Everybody knows what Swami is telling, what we have to do, but we are not doing. Why? We are still clinging to something. It is a little attachment or desire. That is, we have to let go that. We have to let go of that. Unless that, we can't. Definitely we can't. We are always clinging to everything. Yes, we have to let go of our family or everything. That's how Adi Shankar did, how Buddha did. But we are not prepared to do that. But still we are talking and saying that and this. What's the use? We have to put into practice. Little by little, all of a sudden we can't do it. We always bring other people. And finding faults, comparing, judging. So what's the use? You have to go inward. You have to transform. You have to come. You have to reach the goal. We can't drag with our family, friends and all, and we can't blame them also. We can't blame the family, we can't blame our husband, we can't blame anybody. It's our fault. We are the reason for what we are not achieving, not others. So it is we have to go inward. Then only there will be a unity and oneness. People always see, still though they are talking much, there's differences, separation in everything, their mind. Country-wise, language-wise, everything there's difference. Though they don't tell it out, it is there. Otherwise, there's no unity. Only when they let go of all that, there will be unity and oneness. Only when there's one there will be samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. And people shouldn't misunderstand this. You have to respect what they say. Sai Ram.
Thank you, sister. I like your comments. Okay, the one keyword I pick up is mentioned about purity. How about the others?
Saram, Prabhupada. Okay,
Yep,
what thoughts and deeds not in coordination, right? I think it's common, There are many reasons for it. Like one of the reasons is probably maybe you are expert in bhajan or maybe you are expert in meditation, but you might not be good at talking. Some people are very sweet talker. Some people cannot. They are very stiff, and when they talk, the words can hurt. It doesn't mean that they intend to, but it's just that they need to what I call know thyself better, evaluate themselves better, and try to improve on their weakness. Maybe they didn't know their weakness, but also because also there is ego also. Let's say I'm good as a meditator or I'm good as a bhajan, so the ego can build up and then you talk different because of the ego there is the obstacles also. One of the reasons. There are many reasons. The other thing is sometimes there is something that is right, but if you want to talk to that person, you cannot talk in the right way to them. You might have to go around to talk to that person so that he can understand. But sometimes by doing that, the person might misunderstand you. Going straight, you can't. Going round sometimes also difficult because it can have misinterpretation. This is also one of the problem. You know, uh, you try your best, but sometimes it's not easy lah. Because you talk straight, you can hurt the person. Right? Going round, there will be some misunderstanding. But sometimes work, sometimes doesn't work lah. This is also one of the situation. Then another situation is you very simple understanding truth, and yet you'll be very surprised that people, because they don't know the truth, they don't know, not many people like us go detail study, and then contemplate, and then when we read, we can understand, most of us can understand, I would presume, right? Not all, I would say, at least we do our best, But you'll be very surprised, there will be people who know Swami, pray to Swami, talk about Swami, but yet when you come to the truth, simple truth, they can talk the opposite. Then you scratch your head, how come the person talk like that? The truth is so simple, and yet they interpret another way, So these are very shocking truth about life. So unless we do a lot of research, contemplate, really study, and then, try to work it out, but it's never easy lah. Sairam.
Okay. Thank you, Brother James.
Darren, Brother Billy.
Yes.
I think it's the strong desires are the main problem of this disunity. Because we want something which we have a strong desire, but we know that it's not good for others. It's only good for me. It's a selfish need. So if the desires are subdued and if they're for everybody, that's what Swami used to say, if it is good for you, you should not do it. It's good for everybody, you should do it. And this is the main obstacle in bringing the unity of thought, word, and deeds. Because when we go with a strong desire to achieve something, and people do a lot of things which are not ethical, and then they try to hide it. And on the board, they can speak very, very good, lavish words, thinking of bringing unity, but from the heart, they know that that is not their real goal. They want something to manipulate people to get what their desires to be fulfilled. So it is a desire which is the root cause of all this disunity. And if there's a purity of these desires, that it is not for my selfish reason, it's for everybody. I think the purity, and that is where all the causes of jealousy, hatred, and all these things comes up. So these desires needs to be subdued to bring that unity in thought, word, and deed. Saira.
Thank you, Brahmanush. In fact, you mentioned about desires. Swami also mentioned about what they call, be very careful of desires, okay? Swami said, in the third paragraph, be careful of craving for mundane desires. Okay. Okay, back to this. Okay, why is it that we find it difficult to have unity of and purity of thoughts, words, and deeds? Okay, like feedback from the others as well. Have we experienced things like this?
The other
Back,
sorry, the other thing I just wanted to say, Billy, was if a person is wanting to steal, let's say, enter into a house, his thoughts has to be continuously how to steal, how to enter the house, how not to wake everybody up. His words must be aligned. He's all the time, his thoughts, words, and deed has to be aligned in order to break into a house also. So actually, this thought, word, and deed is actually the anatomy to achieve anything in this world. Even if you want to conquer something also, you need these three things to be together. So the main thing is the intention. The intention is the intention of what we want. These three, this is like the three equipments. These three equipment must become aligned towards what. So that's why three karana shuddhi, the word shuddhi is there. That means to say that all these three, when it is aligned, it must lead you towards purity also. Because it must lead you to purity. Otherwise, the action itself can be an impure action, and we may have an accompanying thought, and our words can all be impure, like what I mentioned about the incident about the robbing or robbing somewhere or breaking into a house. So the intention is very critical. It is intention that can solidify all these three things, which is why Swami said very clearly that two things we must not forget. We can live in this world, we can do everything else, but the most important thing that we must not forget is that everything here is a transit. So two things we must remember: death and God. So when that intention is very strong in us, automatically these things will become more aligned. So when we are, why it is getting to become not aligned is because the intensity of the intention is not strong enough. It's like a glue. The glue must fix all these three things together. But when the intention is not strong, the glue doesn't stick, and these three gets to be deflected. So number one, I think the point is you need all these three things even to do things that are negative. But in the cases that Swami is referring to is that when we keep on going towards higher and higher goal, these three things must become more. So the force is the intention, the guri. That's why Baba said more important than guru is the guri. The goal must be very clear in our mind for this whole three things to become more aligned.
Okay. So, Dr. Suresh, adding on with what you said just now, I think, can we say that intention is part of thoughts, or intention is one of the features of thoughts, or it is higher than thoughts?
I think Brother Suresh meant as deeds means, say, a person is stealing means it is somebody else's thing he is stealing. So though he is aligned with the thought, word, and deed, but it is condemned by, it is not his. So what I feel is that the desire to steal, which is not his, desire to get what is not a pure thought, and that is what this is. This is not aligned properly. That's what I feel.
Yeah. The other thing is that the thought anyway is described as a speck of energy. The definition of a thought is that a thought is nothing more than a speck of energy. So where we have lots of thoughts, then we have lots of energy. And that's why we feel very tired, we're exhausted, because there's overwhelming thoughts running in our mind. And we feel exhausted because there's energy. But if that very thought moves, solidifies, hinges on a certain goal, and he's able to pull us all out, then that energy will be considered as intention. So it's depending on how you want to direct that energy, is my thinking of it.
Okay. All right. So adding on again, okay, so purity of thoughts must be very important, I think here, okay. And we need to practice sealing on desires. One way to purify the thoughts through sealing of desires. And food, I think, plays a very important part for thoughts. Okay, so those on the spiritual path must really be very, very careful of food. I think Swami mentioned the story of monk. Okay, he went to a house. Okay, and then he was offered a meal. Okay, and then after the meal, he had suddenly a desire, is inside him to want to steal a silver tumbler, that belongs to the owner. Okay, and he quietly stole the tumbler. And then he went back and then he saw his master and then he realized it's something not right. And then he mentioned that to his master and the master told him, I think the reason is because of the food you consume. And then they investigate, they found that the food, the cook, at that time was actually a robber or something like that. So this is where if you really want to practice unity of thoughts, words, and deeds, I think we've got to be very careful with maintaining the purity of our thoughts. So I think number one is food.
Yes.
Sai Ram, in
Yeah.
spiritual, you can't keep the cake and eat the cake at the same time. You have to
Yes.
let go.
Mm-mm.
You can't even look at Swami, how he left everything and went. He left his family and everything. But it's not easy. Though I'm telling this, I'm not able to leave everything at once. But still, that is very important. You really want to proceed in your spiritual life. Now like this, when two people are in love, they just leave everything and go. They just let go. Like that, when you want to reach the goal, you just let go everything and go. You don't think about anything. That's what is spiritual. Sai Ram.
Okay, thank you, sister. Okay. How about the others?
I think, sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
Uncle, I have a question. I'm not too sure. Swami says that the thoughts, it also includes the thoughts from our previous births, that we carry on to this birth. What is your opinion on that? How to get rid of the thoughts? If it's from our previous birth, and then we're bringing the thoughts into this birth, how to get rid of that?
No, actually, you should not get rid. No, don't think that all the thinking of the past is bad, because it's only sometimes all the thinking of the past is why we all sitting here together like this. Because we have exhausted some of the vasanas, we have purified ourselves in the past lives, and therefore it is giving us the impetus to come for the satsang and to sit down also, because we are carry forward, because the one life after next life is full. It's not a full stop but a comma. What you're asking is what happens to the wrong tendencies and wrong thoughts that we have carried from the past life to now. Okay, how do we exhaust and eliminate that? I think that's the question. Because we also carry good things also from the past. Isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So two things I just wanted to mention in line with what 2 points. One of the things that I think as a spiritualist we should try and do is actually we should regularly try and see whether we can fast. Not for Navaratri or Sivaratri when it comes, but generally as a spiritualist, it's very amazing if you go on a fast or reduce the food intake and maybe miss a meal or something, you'll find that the energy levels will really go down. And when the energy level goes down, your conscious mind is not terribly active. And it's very interesting that you can observe a lot of things about yourself. It's a lot of thoughts will start surfacing and you'll be able to see, you'll be able to manage, you'll be able to evaluate a lot of things a lot of awareness starts to come out. Much, not even the quality of food is of course important, but when food is totally subdued or eliminated, also can make a very big impact in our spiritual growth. And then the overcoming the negative tendencies of the past is that when we keep on cultivating what Baba said, that if you keep like the child who's holding the knife, and you ask the child to drop the knife, the child will hold the knife even harder. But if you dangle a teddy bear, the knife drops off and the child reaches out to the teddy bear. So we now need to know, what are we reaching out for? What is it that we want for? That's what a spiritualist, we have to really identify. You have to be really honest, and we have to identify what is it that we really want. Because in this world, there are many, many things. But Swami gave us that real desire for us to have two things, death and God. That one we must, this two is like the compass. And so if you have that compass, you find that if this is what we really desire, then you will find that this intensifies our pursuit, and then that will enable us to even overcome the negative tendencies that we have brought from the past life, enhance and reinforce the positive ones, and then like a springboard, we can jump into the higher stratospheres of experience of spirituality. So this is what the whole progression is all about. But to do that, we need to seriously intensify. So Baba said in the Gita, in Gita Vahini, Swami said, how this happens is that first thing that must happen in the first instance for a spiritual seeker is only one first thing. First quality is you can talk, we can have, we can preach, we can do bhajan, we can do all these things. But the most important thing is only from verse 11, Krishna started his Gita, the second chapter. So until then, Arjuna was rambling along. So the first thing that we must do is surrender. So this first thing to overcome this tendency must be, oh Lord, you are the pilot. That's it. You are the pilot. I'm just following you. So that feeling must be very strong and more intense as the days pass by. Second, Baba said, once you develop this, then you find that the physical, mental, intellectual entrapment must take out. It's exactly what the world will make use of our physical, mental, intellectual, and we will continue to think that this world is real and give us false identity. So the second part Baba said is that we must loosen the grip of the physical, mental, intellectual and turn the mind towards the Atma. That's the second point. So now in our spiritual quest, this Atmic reality must come inside. Just now you saw Baba speaking also, he mentioned about this Atma thing. He said, we'll be looking here, looking there, you must look inside for the Atma. Then Baba said, third point, Swami said, this is in that sequence. While we are doing that, Bhagavan said, third point, what is that? Third point is that while we are doing it, we must now refine values, refine culture, become a better, in the process, refine and create better versions of ourselves. He didn't use this word better version. He just said, create better values and create a life that is meaningful. Then finally, the fourth one, he said, whilst we are doing this and we are refining and refining, finally, he said, ultimately, we now need to yearn for liberation. So that yearning for liberation. So this is the fourth step, 4 steps in which in Gita Vahini, Baba said, summarized it in chapter 2, I think, of the Gita Vahini, where Baba mentions this clearly. So this 4 process will help to reinforce to move what the past and reinforce what is in the present life to move forward without incurring, and using the 2 fences, which Swami mentions, the 2 fences, fear of sin and not wanting merits. Fear of sin means if we have in our conscience, whatever we do, this will incur sin, this will incur sin. And then we won't go into that activity. And then we will do things that will earn. So you see, the snake and ladder game, we know how to play the game. Then we will slowly safeguard our enthusiasm towards the final goal.
Okay. All right. So this is where the word purity is also very important. And for this, Swami is actually prescribed what they call the integral yoga, of service is karma yoga, jnana yoga, and the spiritual is bhakti yoga. So in order to purify our thoughts, service is important. to eliminate the ego, and then to what you call purify our mind, our thoughts, meditation, chanting, and then we have satsang and all what we're doing here. So it's very important for us to be part of the center. We need to go to the center to take part in the service activities, we need to what they call take part in spiritual activities, the bhajans, in fact, Swami said that one way to really get this, to have unity of thoughts, words, and deeds is through namasmarana. Okay. And of course, not forgetting the basic 9-point code of conduct and the 10 commandments that Swami has given to all Sai members. Okay. Now, coming back to the letter. Okay. So I think we have covered this. First paragraph is, Swami reminds us about that we are God. Okay. We are the Atma. Okay. And then Swami reminds us of his omnipresence. And then Swami said the importance of values. Okay, so this is the logo of the Sai organization. And Swami said that not only that we must, our thoughts, words, and deeds must be in alignment. And saying God's name, namasmarana, okay, chanting is the way to this. Okay. So let's go to part 2, now the second part of the letter. Okay. Swami said, it is a sin to sell the most valuable human life for the sake of the coal of mundane desires. Its real price is the ecstasy of God's name. There's a real fulfillment of life. In this Kali age, only the time they spend in praising the natural name of God is valuable time. Instead of becoming crazy about mundane desires, it is highly fruitful to develop a taste for divine qualities. The name is the divine nectar that removes the blindness of ignorance and bestow prajna and vijnana, wisdom and enlightenment. Okay? May you all be blessed with this nectar. May you acquire merits. Having been born, may you all hold on to this unique state firmly. Okay, so again, it's very important to constantly remind ourselves as to the purpose of life. Now, the first slide I show, that we must know what is the purpose of life. Oh, okay, you see, to eat, sleep, mate, and then die. So life has got a higher purpose. So never, what they call, forget the purpose of life. So Swami say, always remember God and death. Okay. And Swami says, its real price is the ecstasy of God's name. I think I would interpret this as bliss, okay? Bliss. And there's real power in God's name. Perhaps let's watch a short video of this, okay?
In 1984, one Indian exporter, fruit exporter, he gave me an assignment to go to London and advertise export of mangoes from Bombay to London. One day, I was going to there in London, Western International Market. After getting down from double-decker bus, I had to walk 20 minutes. Every day routine was. So, started the hailstorm. I was not prepared for that. In order to generate heat within myself, I just very loudly chanted, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram. In moments, Swamiji physically appeared there and putting his hand on my shoulder, told me, 20 minutes we walked together. We reached international market, and I was fully drenched with the rains and hailstorm. And I wanted to wipe my face. I saw there was not even a drop of water on Swami's robe. So just I wanted to wipe my face, and I saw Swami disappearing in thin air like a madcap. Swami, Swami, Swami. It gave me a lesson, power of Namasamran. Wherever you are, if you chant his name, he can do anything. There are no limitations.
Okay. Yep. So this is the power of God's name, okay? And I once had a unique opportunity to actually witness this, okay? We talk about the ecstasy of God's name. So many years back during Guru Purnima, okay, there was this bhajan session, okay? I think those doing the bhajans are those devotees from Nepal. So some bhajans going on, and then after that, a particular bhajan song came on. Okay, it was sung by a sister. As we go into just about, I think 2 minutes of the bhajan, suddenly Swami said, "Who is the singer?" Ask the singer come. He was mentioning to, I think, his assistant. And then his face turned towards the lady's side. "Who is singing? Come here." And I think the sister was singing the bhajan was really stunned. I'm not just so focusing on singing the bhajan, and then someone, the Sevadal usher, Swami on the sea, and she went forward to see Swami. And surprisingly, Swami waved his hand and materialized a gold chain, for this girl, Imagine Swami interrupting a bhajan, okay? And materialized a gold chain for this singer. And then she went back, and then she carried on with singing, okay? So the question here is, why don't we get the promised ecstasy when chanting the divine name? And I think that five sister chant with so much of what they call devotion, okay, that God went into ecstasy, to materialize a gold chain for her. So Swami said, in a divine discourse on September 14, 1997, when you chant the divine name with love, at least once, you will experience inexplicable and overwhelming bliss in your heart. Baba. So then Swami carried on to say, in expressing your gratitude to God by chanting his name, you should do the chanting from the depth of your heart and not as a musical performance. Ravana, for instance, used to repeat the 5-syllable Shiva mantra, Namah Shivaya, constantly, but did not give up any of his demonic qualities because the recitation was done mechanically. On the other hand, Prahlada, though he was the son of a Rakshasa, repeated the Narayana mantra, Om Namo Narayana, continually with all his heart and soul. This served to save him from all the terrible ordeals to which his father Hiranyashipu, subjected him. He came out unscathed from all the ordeals by binding himself with the Lord's name in his heart. Every instrument of torture turned into the Lord's form. It must be noted that reciting the Lord's name with one whole heart is true smarana, contemplation. The chanting of the name should not be done to earn the approbation of others or for show. It is enough if one is able to please the Lord. In the process, one becomes united with the divine. So this is where, only then do we, experience the ecstasy when chanting the divine name, okay? So perhaps I stop here and get feedback from the others, okay? Any comments or questions from the others?
Saram, Billy,
Yes.
chanting into ecstasy, chant with the heart, you can get it there. It's a regular, constant practice. I think the other thing is the belief they are chanting that Swami is in your heart and around you. I mean, we have to practice until we come to a level where you can be talking anything to Swami, but you believe he's hearing it. I think many of us have that experience. You know, sometimes we meet obstacle challenges. Swami, what should I do? You know, what's the next thing to do? And all that. Suddenly the answer just comes. Of course, he doesn't appear. We are not in ecstasy. But because the belief is so strong that Swami is definitely there, we just believe he's there. And sometimes the problem or what the challenges can be solved. And the other thing, I think many of us also experience chanting Gayatri. Let's say we are going to meet a problem, going to make obstacles. Before going, you chant, chant, chant. When you reach there, suddenly like, there's no obstacle. Everything okay. You know, everything softened. I think this is quite surprising. I mean, you just know what that is the power of chanting Gayatri. Saira.
Yeah, Chaladi can.
Okay, thank you, Brother James. How about the others?
Saram, I personally feel Namasmarana is a very effective tool to get rid of your negative thoughts and all your mental defilements, because I find it that I go for bhajan at least once a week, and then after the bhajan session, I'll feel refreshed, as if all the problems have been solved, So I don't know, there's definitely a power in going for bhajans and chanting Namasmarana. Also, lately I experienced, lately we had the Akanda bhajan 24 hours, right? Throughout the 24 hours, during the closing of the bhajan, I really felt a sense, maybe it's ecstasy, but I don't know. I felt the sense of rapture and euphoria towards the end of the bhajan. When it's going to hit 6 o'clock or towards the end, I felt a high level of rapture and bliss, and it was very, very peaceful, Namasmarana. And also, if you look at at um, Swami's teaching, it says daily Namasmarana and daily prayer and meditation, And if you look at the best is the Hare Krishna devotees, they go around chanting with their beads. All the time they are just chanting, 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 chanting. But the question is, they are chanting their beads while they are multitasking with daily routine, I mean, while walking, while watching TV. Is it as effective? Or you should do it just in your room with the beads only? Can you multitask? I mean, doing Namasmarana and doing something else? Because I noticed them, they watch TV, but they be chanting using their beads. So I'm wondering right now whether it's as effective or not, Sarah.
Any comments on Brother Dinesh? Brother Dinesh mentioned.
I think concentrated chanting is really beneficial. But Swami has also said that there should be a chanting going continuously within, even if you're talking, if you're listening or doing something like that. So that becomes a second, like a breath of chanting the name. Because the idea is that concentration which you're talking about when you're doing in the prayer hall will only come if it is 24 hours it's done. I mean, 24 hours not while sleeping, but daytime, whatever, in a mundane job also. Because what happens that when you are chanting, it becomes nearly like your breath, the name. And so then when you're doing for 1 hour, 2 hour, whatever the concentrated one, I think it becomes more powerful. So it is good to have the 24-hour chanting or 12 hours chanting when you are walking, doing anything. At least on the back of the mind, and those words are resonating in your heart. So when you're working also, the thoughts becomes purified. I've seen a lot of these Hare Krishna devotees also. There's always a glow on their face because of this chanting. So it always keeps you in the state of happiness when you're in your daily course also. So I feel that whatever time you have, you should always continuously chant doing your daily work also. Saira.
Thank you, Manish.
Saram, I think just now brother said you are watching TV and chanting. That I think will be a bit, I don't know. I don't think I will do that. But let's say you're cleaning the center or cleaning the house and then you do the chanting. That is effective because that also need a lot of concentration. Saram.
Yeah, I think I agree with Brother James because like, but watching a TV, you're actually diluting your efforts towards, you're allowing other thoughts to come into the mind. And Swami also mentioned, try not to watch TV because television is telepoison.
Sairam, one day when I was after the bhajan, I was at the bus stop and Swami came and talked to me. At that time, I didn't realize because he came as a disguise. He was wearing another color robe. He was talking to me at that time. I didn't realize. Later, I realized. And also another day, on a Krishna Jayanti day, he came home after midnight puja. So Swami is there. His Namaswara is very important. And how you say it also very important. It should come from the heart. Saira.
Oh, fantastic, sister. That Swami appears in front of you.
Saram, this is one thing I think maybe some of you will experience this. Sometimes the day you wake up, you just find that the day is not a good day, very low energy. And this is the time, I just realized, wow, today is going to be not, you just have the intuition that it won't be good. And you just go out to to the garden or to the field, and then you walk for 10 or 20 minutes or half an hour chanting Gayatri, the energy all change. The energy just change. And there's another thing that happened recently, Morning, I was taking my wife, and then something happened. Not so good, small thing happened. Then coming out of the car, something happened. Then going to the center, something happened. Small thing happened now. Then your intuition tell you, you better tell it out. So I actually told my wife and also a sister there. I said, well, today not a very good day. 3 things happened already this morning. You know what my wife told me? She said, hey, husband, why are you so negative? Suddenly but I realized those things happening. But after I mentioned it, my intuition said, ask me to mention, I mentioned it. But my wife see me as opposite, as negative, But I realized after I say, nothing happened. That means after that, everything okay. It is a very strange thing happen. It's just that the consciousness tell out. So the thing will run, the negative thing will run away because the negative know that you realize little bad thing are happening. So to stop that, you just talk it out, the thing just disappeared. Just an experience.
Okay, thank you, Brother James. And Swami also mentioned, in the third paragraph of the letter. Okay. All right. In this Kali age, only the time they spend in praising the nectarine name of God is valuable time. Okay, which means try to spend time chanting God's name. Okay, constantly have God's name the tune in the back of your mind. Okay, any comments from the others? Okay, before I pass back to Dr. Suresh, okay, I just came across this particular paragraph here. Man is wasting his life night and day for acquiring external things like house, lands, vehicle, wealth, and other so-called properties, which in fact are not properties. Is it for the sake of these trifles that man is born? No, no, no. To realize God is his foremost task in life. Love is your true nature. Nothing can exist in this world without love. You are the embodiment of love. Forgetting your reality, you are craving for mundane things. What you have to aspire for and what you have to experience and enjoy in this world is love and love alone. Other than love, nothing is permanent. Okay. So, by the way, this coming Saturday, no, we are having this Akhanda Gayatri Mantra chanting. Okay. So we will post the link later in the group, and hope everyone will join in. Okay, the chanting. Okay. With that, back to you, Dr. Suresh.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Brother Billy. Brother Manoj wanted to say something just now. Yeah. Manoj?
It's okay. I think we were discussing about the chanting of the name, because this line really confirms that if we do the chanting continuously, even if you're working or something like that, finally it becomes a habit. And then when we are doing a concentrated chanting, it empowers us with that strength. So this continuous chanting is a recommended remedy for our spiritual growth. Saira.
Thank you, brother. So this has been really so we started with the unity of thought, word, and deed, linked up to so many aspects just now. Anybody else want to say something? You have another 4 minutes.
Sairam,
Yes.
just want to concur what the Manu said about chanting and continuous. I'm trying my best to follow that, and just want to share what happened on December 2nd. It's the previous Saturday. My daughter, she's sitting for SPM, that's O levels, and the SPM practical started last Tuesday. Physics, SR Baba, physics, chemistry, and bio. And suddenly she fell ill. For past 3 years, she was not having any illness, asthma. Suddenly she couldn't breathe, and the oxygen dropped at 85, and that was at 2:30 a.m. Friday midnight. I mean early morning Saturday. I was like, okay, I just caught my breath and I just chanting Swami's name, rushed her to the emergency, and I was just keep on chanting and chanting Swami's this one, and the doctor said they get all the gadgets done, and they said 91, and I told the doctor, and he asked me what happened. I said she had tonsil, and she'd taken the medicine, and suddenly at 9 o'clock she said she's having uncomfort to breathe. Then we took her to the Metro Care, and then he gave her the nebulizer, and when the nebulizer was going on, he came and told my husband, don't give her this medicine, you just give her this medicine. So my husband gave her that medicine, I know, and I think something, I don't know what's there. And 2:30, she just couldn't breathe, and she put her head down and said, Amma, I can't, so we had to rush. So when I told him about this medicine, I showed him, and the first thing he told me, oh, asthma patient, they can't take this medicine. I was like, and I asked him back, doctor, there's another doctor who prescribed this, and he didn't answer me that, because immediately in a second, he just checked at the Google and he said, this medicine should not be given to asthma patient. So could be that's why they when I attacked these lungs or what. So he took the X-ray, and thank God later. So this from 3:30 early morning and it was going on until 7:30. The oxygen didn't go up to 94. And I was telling him that Tuesday is a practical. And he said, it's a very kind doctor. He said, he called me his ma, and he said, uh, I can't even let her go because the oxygen has to be more than 96, 97. And she's got asthma attack and she needs a nap. And they're given back to back with the nebulizer 4 times. The oxygen did not increase to 94. And he said, I cannot let her go. I said, can I observe her? No, I cannot take the risk. You have to admit her. She has to be under observation, and the specialist will be there tomorrow to see her. So all I did was, I was breathless, but I didn't want to show anything in front of my daughter because I was just letting for a while, about 5 minutes, to get the explanation done. And he said, I will have to admit her. So again, 7:30, he said, Mom, the oxygen has not gone up to even 95. So I have no choice. Then I asked my daughter, you have to be strong because Tuesday is your first practical for SPM O levels. So he said, never mind, tomorrow the doctor will observe. Maybe you can take your own discharge risk to discharge her and all that. So I said, my God, over 3 years and 2 years of studies, and the last leg, you're going to sit for your exam, and this has happened. I was just thinking in my heart, Swami, why all these tests? How is she going to get up? She's already, there's no energy. She's trembling, she's shivering, then never mind. So all the procedures was done, and 9 something, she was brought to the ward and everything. And specialists, they came late and all that. So she told me, Amma, I can't even write my name. The nurse asked me to fill up the form because I had to go back and get all the thing done because everything was sudden to get all her stuff, from the home. So I told her, please hold on, we'll come back and all that. She said, I couldn't even write my name, Karishma. And how am I going to? I just said, never mind, because of the nap, you're shivering and, you're under oxygen and all that, because there's this granula and what do you call, these drips are going on, glucose, this, and she's given again steroid. And then the nurse helped her. I said, never mind, you calm down. Today is only Saturday. Tomorrow is Sunday. There's one more day, Monday. So, and Tuesday is exam. We'll just hope for the best. Really cannot, never mind, I'll inform the teachers. So when my husband called the teacher, the school teacher, the examiner, how if like she's admitted and we don't know how the stage, the first question the teacher asked, what is the oxygen level? He said it's 92, 93. Oh, never mind, sir. No need to inform the education department now. Then that's it. Once you call off, I don't know when next day she can sit for her practical. Never mind, you have until Monday, you call me. Okay, so I was still praying and chanting. So Saturday whole day, okay, yes, just still under oxygen, everything still normal and all that, no changes. Okay, then at 9 o'clock, they came and then they said, we will see tomorrow. If as I explained everything to them, they said tomorrow, Sunday, tomorrow. Okay. And magic, early morning, 9 o'clock, the specialist came and saw her on Sunday morning, and she checked the lungs was clear. And she said, okay, now you can switch off the oxygen. And immediately she texted me and she said, Amma, the specialist told me I can switch off. I can off with the oxygen, and my oxygen is 99. Magic. Nothing changed. I didn't sleep the whole night, even in the dream. I was just like, my Sai Ram, Swami, 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 And suddenly she called Sunday morning, and then I came and I managed to see the specialist, and I told her, she's so nice. She said, don't worry, I will discharge her. I know she's going to sit for an exam, but I can't do it now. Maybe at 5 or 6. I said, it's okay, doctor, as long she's fine. I have another tomorrow, one day to give back the energy and for her to be fit. Okay, all the best. But can I just get a memo to say that she's just going to be discharged and she needs the energy, so she need not be throughout until 1 something, she can come on. And they said, no, I can't do that, but I will give a memo of a condition. So, with that, I took her back, and Monday, we called the teacher, and the teachers were so glad. All the 3 teachers, they say, thank God, we'll do. But she has to be a quarantine until 11:45. until the next batch students finish their practical, even though exam is the first batch 8:45. So even special condition also cannot, with any letters also cannot. But 11:45, when the second batch finished the exam, came out for 3 days continuously. Baba gave her the energy and she could write because she was so frightened. But by Monday evening, she sat back at the table and she was doing whatever she has to do. I told, are you fit to write? She said, yeah, a bit still shaky with a nap and all that. But this is magic. I never expected this, and she didn't expect this. And she gave me the confidence. No need to worry, Amma. Baba is there. Swami will guide me. I'll get through it. Thank God. At last, when Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday is done, and now she's still resting. She needs the full power. And for her next batch will be the oral, and then the SPM will start. So this is what I went through last week, Tuesday. And with this, why this thought came to me, because it's our group one for discussion, and the same thing of this chanting of Swami's name. See how the test came to me. So I just surrender everything to Baba. Chanting is the most powerful thing. Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you, sister. Very, very profound, very nice, and very, very fitting and effective benefit of chanting Swami's name. So nice. Thank you so much for that inspirational message. Okay, so the time is up. Till we meet again next week. We will listen to group 2. Sai Ram, thank you.
Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sairam, thank you everyone.
Sairam, thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Sai Ram, thank you.
Sairam.